Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Nekole Shelton, college funding strategist, consultant, author of Hidden College Funds Guide to Undisclosed College Money. Welcome to the show, Nekole.
Thank you. Thank you, KJ.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll learn about how one can unlock hidden college funds that can benefit students. In this backdrop, we'll have our discussion. But before that, Nekole, if you can share a bit about your journey, your background, so that people know who they are listening to.
Yes, my name is Nekole Shelton, and I am a mother of two college grads. I have a husband. My kids graduated college and a few years ago, and through this journey, I learned so many non-traditional ways of identifying funds that colleges that just don't want you to know about. So after my kids graduated, I decided to just share information that I learned over the years, and I will share with other families and friends. After that, my family and friends would mention, why don't you write a book? And I was like, no, people probably know this stuff. There's no point of writing a book. And so years sort of went on, and then one day I just decided, let me pay it forward. Let me write a book and share it to others, because I should not assume others don't know about it, just like I didn't know about it. And that's how I birthed Hidden College Funds.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, if college funds are for this particular purpose, why don't colleges disclose this? Means, isn't this a some sort of a negative thing that somebody is doing? Why don't they do that?
Yeah, I would say it's not about that they don't disclose it. It's more they're non-traditional ways of identifying funds. So it's more so asking the right questions, and you will get probably more different variants of answers.
Okay, can you explain this a bit more so that we understand what this is all about? Means, uh, I thought funds are funds, and that is available to those who need. And do I need to play mind games? Do I need to have special skills to extract them out of the authorities?
That's so funny. So it's situational, right? So for example, if you are a parent, and let's say you're a middle class parent, and they put everybody in the same bucket. I'll say that. So if you do not identify yourself different from the bucket, then you're going to get the same results as everyone else. So here's an example. You have a middle class. I'll use myself actually as an example. My daughter wanted to go to a specific university. It was a HBCU, which means historically black college and universities. The school gave us an award letter, and the funds were about 45,000 a year after the scholarships. At that time, I could not afford it. So I suggested to her, why don't you diversify your portfolio and apply for other schools? And honestly, the reason why I did that is because I just couldn't tell her no. And so I just wanted to see if we could find other opportunities. She applied for other schools. She got in. We received the award letter. In those award letters, it was less, right? But she was determined to go to another school. So what happens is I had two award letters, and each award letter had a different balance. So I went to the school that she really wanted to go to, and I said, hey, this school is giving me this amount, and you're giving me this. She prefer your school. She loves your school. She really wants to go here. She's been wanting to go here from day one. And so with that, what they did is they gave her additional funding to match the other school. So it's situational. That's just
Okay.
one example of there's funds out there that they have that they may pull from different buckets to give your child.
Okay. Can you explain further this something called situational? Do I have to look poor? Do I have to look very in bad situation? What is this situation about? What is my situation that will impress the authorities to open the doors of those secret funds?
Yes. So that is one situation. The situation is my daughter wanted to go to this school really bad. And there was a comparison. It was similar to housing. When you go out there and purchase a house, when you go out there and purchase a car, you're comparing the two. Especially when you're a freshman, you're a golden ticket. You are the school's pipeline to their future. So they want you there. They need that. They need that actual. They need the emissions. They need those numbers up to receive additional funding, right? So that's one situation. Another situation is that, let's say that someone in the family lost a job, and now you have, when you did your FAFSA, you had two incomes, but now you have one income. That's a situation. And then you'll write a letter, and actually in my book I provide 5 different type of templates based on different situations, and you can literally copy and paste that template and populate your information in, and you can submit that to the financial aid office. So that's another example.
Absolutely, absolutely, Nicole. Now you talk about misconceptions, some misconceptions that parents have about college funding. What are these misconceptions?
Yes, misconceptions are when you receive that award letter, and a parent can receive that award letter, and they think that balance that's there, that's the final decision, not realizing it's negotiable. That's one of the most popular misconceptions I see with parents, is them not going further and asking for more, or asking questions, or appealing.
Absolutely. Can you explain? Means a student, is he or she in a position to negotiate? What do you mean by that? It is negotiable, especially for people who are, say, not in the US, who are outside, who have different culture. So they will think, how do I enter into a negotiation with my future college authorities? They may reject me. They have certain fears also, even within the US. So that's why I asked, because of this whole cultural thing from one country to another.
Yes. So let me step back a little. And one thing that I probably did not share with you, AJ, is throughout my years, I volunteered for an organization called Stride, and it's actually to help third world country students come into the U.S. and help them through the application process. And what I've seen through being the liaison between the student and the university is it's very similar to an incoming freshman in the US. They need a certain percentage of students as well, international students, to to diversify their university's load, right? They need a certain amount of, I'm sorry, not load, their pool. They need a certain amount of university international students, and it helps sell the school more. So, and when I say that is, if I tell you everybody at this school is only in the US, versus if I tell you we have students from around the world that comes to our school. We have people from India, we have people from Africa, we do exchanges with them. That's more appealing to the student body than everyone is all the same. It creates exchanges across different universities, different internships. So they're just as valuable as other Americans. If you are in America, they're just as valuable as an American at the university.
Right. So can a foreign student, they also have this whole thing called negotiation. They have got different offers from different financial packages from different schools,
Absolutely.
colleges, and how should they evaluate it? How do they negotiate with others? Should they tell these guys are giving me this much package, you should give me more? How does that happen?
Well, first, I wouldn't say more, right? Because the goal is to get what you want, but get what you need. That's
Okay.
the goal, right? It's not to be necessarily greedy in one aspect. So I use the example of, if, and this is, it doesn't matter if you're an international student or a US citizen. If this is a school you really wanted to go to, opposed to another school, that is what your that's your ultimate goal, is to go to that university. So if another school is giving you more money and you determined to go to this school, then that's what your that's your goal. So it's not to say, oh, I want one up, I want even more. I mean, if they give you more, that's fantastic, right? But the ultimate goal is to get what you need and get what you want to get to the school you want to go to.
Okay. How do I know that this is the maximum they can give? It's like a
You
job
don't
sort
know.
of a negotiation. How do I know how far they can go? Is there a process? Is there a way to understand that? Or should, because
You
I will otherwise keep on negotiating. I will say I will need this much, and it almost becomes like the job salary negotiation. How do I know this is this much they can go?
you don't know. And so it's the same. Yeah, you just don't know. It's the same as when we have this app on Facebook called Marketplace. I don't know if you've heard of that. And it's a secondhand store where you can buy things from people that are wanting to get rid of it. Like, just it's secondhand. They don't want it anymore. So it's a negotiation. I go on there and I say, hey, I want a TV. And I see someone selling their TV for $300. And I say, hey, would you be willing to sell it to me for $200? And they'll say yes. And then if I say, okay, what about 150? They'll say no, I'm locked in at 200. So that's their bottom line. The same with the university. They'll tell you this is all we have. This is so you'll know the bottom line because they'll tell you this is it.
Right, right. Let's look at your book, learn from your best selling book, Hidden College Funds Guide to Undisclosed College Money. Who is this book for? And is it for the parents? Is it for the students? Is it for everyone?
Yes, so the primary is parents. However, I was very strategic in creating it because I wanted it to also be where a student understands it. And the reason why is because it's not always guaranteed that a parent will be the primary person managing this process. Prime example, myself. My parents did not have, well, really, it was my mom. My mom did not was not active throughout my college experience during my introductory of the application process and everything like that. She didn't know. I was first generation college grad. So for me, I asked myself as I wrote this, would I have been able to follow this? And yes. So it's not just for the parents, it's all for the student as well.
Absolutely. So you talked about, you must have talked in detail about different uh, places where you can get within the college itself. Can you elaborate on the sources of funds within the college that a student, prospecting student can look at or should keep that in mind as priority?
Could you repeat that? Because I heard you mention, you said a
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of
As
product.
as per the hidden college funds, have you mentioned the different level or different uh, uh, funds that are available? So that some of the things, if you can enumerate for students to remember, okay, these are the things. Have you listed that in your book
Yes. So
as a separate thing?
yeah, so it's not a black and white thing. It's not a technical. The fund is ABC, and this fund is EFG, and this fund is HIJ, right? It's not that. It is a dynamic of things. Prime example. I mentioned the award letter comparison. It's not a fund, but it's a type of way of getting additional funding, right? Another example is, let's say your student works for the university, and I'm big on suggesting to students, why don't you look into becoming a resident assistant? That's a student that works on the floor at the university, and they manage the floor. They receive free housing. Most schools, free housing can be as much as $8,000 off your tuition. It could probably be more depending on what university it is. That's funding. So it's not a specific fund, it is strategies of receiving reductions to your tuition.
Absolutely. Should students also look out at funds outside college, agencies, or anywhere else where there is a possibility, but people do not know about it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Scholarships are primary, right? Your goal is to shoot for primary scholarships. And what I did is I noticed there were so many books out here, so many YouTube, so many TikToks on scholarships. People talk about that all the time. So I did not focus on scholarships because that's out there. There's a lot of resources out there to look into. So I wanted to talk about things that people don't talk about, which is not as black and white, and that's the non-traditional funding.
Absolutely. There's much to learn about all these things from you, Nicole. And I'm sure a lot of people would want to learn more about this hidden college funds from you and also from your book. What is the best way for them to connect with you and get your help?
Yes, so I am on all the social media platforms under Hidden College Funds, as well as you can find me on my website at www.hiddencollegefunds.com. I have a contact us form at the bottom. You can reach out to me. I offer consultations. I offer e-courses if you do not want one-on-ones, and as well as I have so many free products out there that you can just go onto the website and pull down.
Absolutely. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, AJ.